Minnesota Vikings need to do whatever they can to improve the offensive line, especially the interior offensive line. Guard, seems to be a little bit of a need, especially since Dakota Dozier is booty and also going to be gone. Plus, Ezra Cleveland is actually a left tackle playing right guard, right? So now there's always money in the banana stand. You can free up money. The Vikings should spend some up front. But Joe Thuney, Brandon Scherff, could they be pipe dreams? I don't know, maybe 13, 14, 15 million per year? But the Vikings get priced out there. There's some other names to look for. So here are 3 free agent guards for the Minnesota Vikings, not named Thuney or Scherff. All right. So number 1, Austin Blythe of the Rams. Now, yes, we're starting off Blythe. Is he really a guard? Is he more of a center? But Austin Blythe, the Rams starting center this year, 29 years old in June, 6'3", 298, 2016 7th round pick by the Colts coming out of Iowa. Now, undersized, as well as heady, smart team leader, captain, exactly what you would expect out of an Iowa offensive lineman. Also, they went to the Rose Bowl when he was in Iowa City. Ended up with the Rams in 2017 and worked his way up from a utility backup and then has started for the last 3 seasons, mainly at right guard and center. Signed a 1-year, $3.9 million deal with the Rams this offseason. Probably get a little bit more than that this time around. Has been PFF's number 7 graded center in run blocking at 73.2 grade, as well as only allowed 29 pressures and 4 sacks this season. It's actually pretty comparable to Garrett Bradbury, and it's ironic because, frankly, he's a lot like Bradbury. It's like he's the Looper version. He's the Bruce Willis version of Garrett Bradbury, who is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this situation. But undersized, smart, quick, fires off the ball despite being a center, as well as a great leader and has good movement skills up front, which the Vikings like. Now, we've talked about maybe the Vikings should get back to maulers, especially at those guard spots, but and also you can get him to play guard, or you put him at center, put Bradbury at guard. You have a lot of options of flexibility up front. Either way, if you, for some godforsaken reason, you keep Ezra Cleveland at a guard. Maybe you have him at left guard, but a left guard Ezra Cleveland, center Garrett Bradbury, right guard Austin Blythe. You have the most athletic and movement skill based interior in the league. So wouldn't be all that bad. And also, you could be in like the 3-year, $18 to $21 million range, similar to Matt Paradise last offseason when he went from Denver to Carolina. Next up, free agent guard number 2, not named Thuney or Scherff for the Vikings, Jermaine Eluemunor coming from the Patriots. Now, yes, again, another guard is he more of a tackle? We're getting into it. So 26 years young, 6'4", 335, was a 2017 5th-round pick coming out of Texas A&M by the Ravens. Now, he was a JUCO transfer. Played his ball near Scranton, PA. That's right. And then he was only a full-time starter at Texas A&M for 1 year, so he's a relative football newbie. Started a few games for the Ravens in 2017 at right guard, trading with the Pats in 2019. Oh, by the way, so he only played 1 season of major college football, and yet the Ravens still drafted him in the 5th round. That tells you how much Ozzie Newsome and Eric DeCosta thought about his upside in that spot. So it says a lot about Jermaine. And then went to the Patriots. Of course, they're renowned for their offensive line, even though Dante Scarnecchia is long retired. But this year, he started 8 games, played both right and left tackle for the Patriots as a shelf of the offensive line all season due to injuries, but only allowed 11 pressures and 3 sacks this year on 201 pass blocking reps. And now it's intriguing because of the size, even though arm length, but he's got a thick ass. You love that. Decently low center of gravity. And frankly, like we said, is relatively new to big-time football. And he's got the strength, he's got the anchor to kick inside. I think he'd be a phenomenal right guard. And you don't lose out too much on the movement skills. But you would be betting on the come. You are betting on potential with him in this spot. Now, I don't think he's going to break the bank, though. I think teams might have learned their lesson from last season where, hey, you had this utility offensive lineman spot starter in Big V coming in from Philly going to Detroit, and they broke the bank for him. So I don't see him getting a ton of cash. Maybe like a 2-year, $10 million deal could potentially be in the offing as a quasi-prove-it deal, given that he's only 26 years old, but would be super intriguing and would be a relative value. Next up, well, lastly, guard number 3 for the Minnesota Vikings, not named Thuney or Scherff, Jon Feliciano from the Bills. Hi, Felicia. That's right. Turns 29 years old in February, 6'4", 325, a former 4th-round pick in 2015 out of the U. It's the U being the U, baby, by the Raiders. Yeah, could you imagine a better pipeline of just dudes who get after it? The U, to the Raiders. I mean, come on. Spent 4 years in Oakland as a reserve and spot starter, filled in for Kelechi Assembly when he went down with injury. Eventually signed with Buffalo in free agency 2019. Has been a full-time starter for them ever since, mainly at right guard, but also had some center and left guard sprinkled in. Tore his pec in camp this season, 2020, then worked his way back week 8 and has been playing at an extremely high level ever since, playing a little bit of center as well as right guard. 72.4 PFF run blocking grade, as well as only 23 pressures allowed and 0 sacks and pass protection. And by the way, if you watch the Bills, man, find 76. Just a tough dude. Get after it, stays after it from the snap to the last part of the whistle. Like, he's not Richie Incognito, but he's a guy with attitude that you really like. And I've said this before. I want my tackles to be super chill. They feel like, hey, we got this. I want my centers to be smart, cerebral, a true leader at that pivot spot. And then I want guards who are just slobber knockering, getting after it. And I want attitude at guards. I want guys that are pissed off for greatness flanking my centers. And Feliciano, frankly, is one of those guys. I think he would bring the right attitude to the Vikes. Stout, thick, like his use of hands as well. And, is he going to be in the 3-year, $15 million a year range, possibly even more, depending on the market? Could you get him for a Josh Klein adjacent type deal? God, that'd be a great get. It would be. And just fueling rivalry, the Bills and the Vikings. The Bills are trying to encroach on the Jets' territory for the dumbest rivalry in sports history. Woo! Right. But again, Vikings do need to explore their options in free agency. And if they can't spend all the cash for Thuney or Scherff, even though I'd be okay with that, there are some other options out there as well. But your thoughts, Vikings free agent guards, not named Thuney or Scherff, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.